What is Klarna? How Klarna became a fintech unicorn. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we're diving into the fintech revolution led by Klarna, the company that's shaking up the world of payments and shopping. With a valuation of $31 billion, Klarna has changed how consumers buy now and pay later. Join us as we explore the strategies and innovations that fueled Klarna's rise and discover how it's reshaping the future of finance. In the 21st century, as technology has improved the way we live our lives and made things more efficient, we as humans have become more obsessed with buying things. Retail therapy makes us happy and takes our minds off the stresses of everyday life and work. But sometimes shopping can be painful, especially online when the payment process is clunky and time-consuming, or your clothes just don't fit, and you need to send them back, sometimes having to wait weeks for the Klarna, the company that was first thought up in a Burger King and came last in an entrepreneurship competition 15 years ago, is now one of Sweden's greatest exports, being labeled in the top 5 unicorn businesses from the region. 40% of all online shopping in Sweden now runs through Klarna, and in 2019 alone, the company handled over $35 billion in sales worldwide. Whilst many online shoppers will have seen their tagline of "Buy now, pay later," not many know the history of Klarna, how it was founded and how it's now worth in excess of $5 billion. Here's how it happened. Back in the day, 2 of the 3 Klarna founders first met in Burger King, but not over lunch because they were working in the kitchen flipping burgers. Sebastian Siemiatkowski and Niklas Adelberth then studied at Stockholm School of Economics, where they met Victor Jakobsson, the 3rd founder. After taking a sabbatical, the trio launched Klarna in 2005, initially with the name Creditor, and took part in the annual Entrepreneurship Award that same year, pitching their vision of helping buyers and sellers with safer and smoother payment methods online. But their passion was to no avail as they finished all but last in the competition. They were told to forget about it. It's never going to work. But despite the negativity, the trio were inspired to continue, although none of them had any finance or banking experience. But what they lacked in experience, they made up for in looks, savvy tactics, and energy. The trio printed their business cards on expensive card. They always wore suits, and they obtained phone numbers that ended in lots of zeros, similar to a switchboard, to convince prospective investors that there was a large team behind them. In hindsight, they realized that it wasn't their looks that raised capital, but their passion and belief in Klarna and the problems it could solve. Klarna was invented to provide financing for online shopping, and therefore using Klarna as a buyer, you know that the shop you're buying from has passed Klarna's checks, and that Klarna is taking on the payment risk so that you can essentially try before you buy and be able to return your clothes with no fuss thanks to the intermediator. And they make the whole process smooth. That was key, as often payment is clunky and takes time. But with Klarna, they remembered the buyer from previous purchases, making the whole process easy. They even centered an advertising campaign around it, with one of their key investors, Snoop Dogg, labeling him Smooth Dog. The retailer also sees some perks too, as they're not taking on any risk when it comes to receiving money, as Klarna pay up front and take responsibility themselves for collecting payment from the buyer. Shops also see an increase in goods sold when customers are using Klarna's suite of options, whether it be installments, financing, or pay in 30 days. It lets consumers try before they buy, with Klarna taking the financial risk. Allowing customers to buy on credit or pay later entices them to just make the purchase without having to think too hard about it, and falling in love with the product makes it a lot easier to part with their cash. Klarna have now partnered with numerous brands like ASOS, Farfetch, Nike, Adidas, Abercrombie & Fitch, and H&M, to name a few, and is servicing over 80 million customers, growing into one of Europe's largest banks without anyone really noticing. Along with Spotify, Mojang, Skype, and King, the app game maker, Klarna is now in the top 5 as far as Sweden's unicorn businesses are concerned, and they've solved the problem of unnecessary friction and complexity in the retail world. allowing people to focus on what they came to do in the first place: shopping. But with all success comes criticism, and the story with Klarna is no different, with some suggesting they're just a modern loan shark with branding which is encouraging young people to overspend, spending money that they haven't got and creating mounting debt. The Klarna response is that the banking industry has never been friendly, and they're hoping to change that by making the risks associated with borrowing money as clear as possible and doing soft credit checks, blocking those that are overspending. This might seem frustrating in the short term when payments are declined, but in the long run protects them financially. With one new seller joining Klarna every 8 minutes, it's now competing with some massive names like PayPal and their credit business. As Klarna looks to continue its rapid growth, the firm will be launching a Klarna card using their banking license in a bid to continue making the shopping experience the best in class, whilst also providing greater services including returns, parcel tracking, and personal finance on the app. What does the future hold? Well, there's rumors that the bank will grow to finance clothing resales, as Semiakowski is known for investing in Depop, the peer-to-peer social shopping app, perhaps to offset the criticism that Klarna makes fast fashion more obtainable. But Semiakowski is keen to understand how fashion recycling will change the fashion industry, with Klarna potentially looking into the clothing rental market too. What's clear, though, is that in today's society, switching to another product is so easy, and therefore competition to be the best is greater than ever. And Klarna's vision is to be a consumer-oriented, product-driven, and technology-intensive retail bank which truly puts the customer first and will potentially see Klarna become one of the most valuable businesses in the world. And that's how it happened. And that's how Klarna has revolutionized the fintech space with its $31 billion valuation and the buy now, pay later model. If you enjoyed this look into Klarna's impact on modern finance, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and click the notification bell to stay updated with our latest content. What do you think about Klarna's approach to payments? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.